For today's episode, we're going to take a look at Macklin Celebrini. Over the course of the last 2 years, I was fortunate enough to watch him at 4 different calibers. So I saw him at the USHL, at the U18, as well as the NCAA and at the World Junior Championship. No matter what the caliber was, there were 3 certainties every time he stepped on the ice. He was going to be the most skilled player on the ice, the smartest player on the ice, as well as the hardest working player on the ice. It's a bit hard to properly explain Celebrini's game by dissecting his qualities one by one, as it doesn't do justice to his overall game, and it doesn't give a fair idea to what a typical shift from him look on the ice. Here's a quick example. With his speed and work ethic, he gets first on a loose puck and then initiate body contact. The puck goes in the corner and he recognizes his winger is already going there, so he goes higher along the boards to seal the boards. And then after a misplay, he recognizes the other team's player are changing, so he goes on the other side of the ice and sets up a scoring chance with a skill play. Another strong point of his IQ is his spatial recognition. He sees the ice very well and offers tremendous puck support to his teammates. He's always at the right place at the right time. Here's an example of that I really like. Celebrini is seen first and foremost as a player who thrives with his dynamism on the ice. He is the highest pace player in the entire draft, in fact, probably even from most recent years. Celebrini feasts off the rush. Even if the opposing team puts up a wall of 4 players at the blue line, he will use his outside speed to solve the problem. All he needs is a teammate to rush to the net with his stick on the ice, and a scoring chance has just materialized out of nothing. Even if he's not the type of player who slows down the game, that doesn't make him an unmethodical player. It's just that he likes to cut up opposing defenses and force them to adapt to him. Rather than studying what openings there are on the ice, he creates them thanks to his dynamism. He is a powerful skater who reaches impressive top speeds, but what I like most about this aspect is how strong he is on his skates. It's very difficult to push him off balance. He demonstrates great strength as he managed to remain standing even when an opponent grabs him and pulls him down with the full weight of his body. This sequence really impressed me. Celebrini regularly uses powerful weight shift to get rid of a coverer, and he managed to explode with a single push using his edges.
And a goal by Tom Molander, 2 Canucks draft picks connecting. The Celebrini brothers in the corner. There's Macklin. Macklin ripped one in.
His edge work are also very good.
Goes for a long skate, hands off to Celebrini, spinning down low, threw it to the middle.
Having scored almost a goal per game in the USHL at 16 years old, as well as a 17 years old in the NCAA, Celebrini is an excellent goal scorer. He has an excellent shot, which is heavy and has a lot of velocity, and regardless of his location, he is a threat to goaltenders. One of the places where goalies should be wary of him is very close to the net, as he likes to go upstairs. What I find particularly interesting is that Celebrini has added another string to his bow this season. Last year, he didn't have a one-timer as good as he has this year, and he didn't use it as often. This is mainly due to the fact that BU's offense is very thin after Celebrini, and nobody else could have taken the role of the triggerman on the power play. But all the same, I can only praise a player of his talent who decides to put on the efforts to broaden his range of offensive weapons. We often see young players with elite traits sit on these same qualities until they hit a wall and realize that their toolbox is not sufficient. I believe that this is the perfect representation of Celebrini's passion for the game of hockey.
back. Celebrini with
His options. Good one. Lane Hudson to Celebrini. A one-timer on the back.
% on Monday in the bean pot. There's a one-timer. Celebrini scores. Hudson to Celebrini.
And back up high. Celebrini with a Celebrini goal. Macklin, Celebrini buries one. And the
Despite posting absurd numbers in the NCAA, this may seem like a bold statement, but I expect Celebrini to be better in the NHL than what we've seen this year. However, I'm not talking about offensive production. What I mean by that is that the supporting cast he had at Boston University was very thin, and some of his attributes couldn't stand out as much as what we saw in the USHL, at the U18, and at the World Junior Championship. By playing with better teammates and not being forced to be the one to put the finishing touch on plays, we will be able to see strength in Celebrinis that shine less brightly at BU. An example of that is how Celebrini likes to use short give and go with a teammate. His explosion on his skates and his quick reads makes a perfect combination to eliminate opponents. Celebrini is a player who makes others around him better and can display impressive offensive output no matter with who he plays. But I believe that to get the most out of his potential, it would be better to place with him players who quickly analyze the game and who execute quickly.
won the Men's World Championship, the World Junior, and the Women's Under-18s. The U.S. won the Women's World Championship and the Men's Under-18.
I don't think that his playmaking skills were on full display this season in the NCAA. Having watched more than 20 games of the Chicago Steels in the USHL last season, I firmly believe that we will see more of this aspect in the NHL. Celebrini often favors passes at the goal mouth as attention turns to the danger he poses with his shot. He takes advantage of a teammate breaking free to deflect one of his passes. What I find particularly interesting is that Celebrini has a propensity to make passes on his backhand. Beyond the skills necessary to make these plays, what sparked my curiosity is that it adds to the comparison with Sidney Crosby.
Straight away, Celebrini fakes the slap shot to the high slot. His shot blocked towards Quinn Hudson.
Twisting away is Quinn Hudson for Celebrini right side. Celebrini coming down central, gives it off to Weber.
Green is waiting at the blue line. They'll bring it in with Celebrini instead. 2 goals already. Centering feed.
It's always a perilous exercise to compare a prospect with a player like that, especially since the parallels between the two are not that striking either. Celebrini's games relies more on dynamism than Crosby's games, but I compare them through their love for the game. It's a bit hard to explain, but when I mentioned in the opening that Celebrini is both the most talented and the hardest working player on the ice, it's something that we've always seen in the Penguins' captain. Both seem to get the same level of satisfaction from blocking a shot or forechecking as they do from scoring a goal. Despite being the most skilled player, they don't play much different than the 12th forward on their team. Celebrini's strength on his skate is something that can also draw some comparison to Crosby. When I mention that both players don't take shortcuts on the ice, I'm also referring to Celebrini's defensive play. His work ethic makes him a player who can annoy his opponents when back-checking. But what most characterizes his defensive game is the support he offers to his defensemen. We see him on a regular basis as low as behind his own goal line.
Stolen and the Terriers have transition. Harvey to Celebrini. Harvey's going to the net. They hit him. Sergev!
3 in a row, and Merrimack trying to break out of a 6-game
He has been a star for the U.S. since his debut with the National Team Development Program 4 years ago.
McGrody, he drives into the near corner. Lane Hudson puts a body on him. Celebrini able to pull the puck away. Celebrini up ahead for...
Something special about Celebrini this season is that no one mentioned the fact that he had a shoulder surgery last summer. Back then, the timeline was that Celebrini was likely to miss the first few games of the year. Even if, in the end, this did not turn out to be the case, it still means that he wasn't able to benefit from a full summer of training. This is what is frightening about Celebrini's potential. In such circumstances, it would have been completely normal to observe a period of adaptation, but he dominated right from the get-go. Plus, as I mentioned earlier, he even added some elements to his game. This shows me that he is a young man completely dedicated to being the best version of himself, and this is the attitude you look for in a player who will be the face of your franchise for years to come. The team that will get their hands on him will not only have an excellent player, but also an outstanding leader and an excellent model and example to follow for the city he will represent.
Nick Ring gets it down early on the road. Home opener for the UNH with Hudson at the near side post, but it's picked off, and Gustav Skratskins can skate it the other way. Rattles it all the way around, past Caron, posting up at the half wall, but poked free of Fitzgerald by Case McCarthy. He's wearing number 7 this year. His brother Gavin, a freshman in a Buffalo Sabres draft pick, he has Case's old number of 2. McCarthy's one of 3 sets of brothers on this Terrier team. We got the McCarthy.
Puck now comes lonely to the near corner, and Macklin is there to pounce on it. Macklin now cuts to the middle. Macklin in front. Wilmer back. Oh, he tried to go back to Macklin. Celebrini there and could not connect. Puck now kicks back. Slapper deflected up and over the cage by Wilmer. The Terriers are in a press here. 30 seconds left in the period. Lane Hudson up and down for Quinn. Quinn now for Celebrini. Celebrini will dish.
Eagles.
Celebrini.
Here by Tuck. And now the Terriers race back. Celebrini down central, drops it off. Tuck. Tuck with a wrister.
Hudson utilizes the drop here. Celebrini on the carry. Celebrini on entry. Celebrini looking to dish it and chipped away by Duplessis. Celebrini buzzed.
Quickly answered. Can they find an answer here? Easier said than done. Against his line. Celebrini put it out in front.
That's his specialty. 34 goals, more than any other sniper in the country. Macklin Celebrini dropped it back for
Jeff. Celebrini revs the engine. He can fly. And a quick shot in Case McCarthy. There's a chance for Harvey. He shoots, he scores! The Huskies able to open up ice for Celebrini. To LaChance, over the line, back to Celebrini, he scores! Macklin Celebrini got enough on it. It was a little bit of BU royalty at number 18.
Hot win over BC on Monday, and here they are again. Harvey has another! Incredible!
Celebrini down low. Goaltender Bolt 6-on-5. That one got a piece of Fowler off the shot from Wilmer. Lane Hudson with that. Gets it across to Celebrini. Curls away from Perreault. Macklin Celebrini fired it high. In second rounder a couple of years ago. Now it's Celebrini moving to the slot, and Fowler turned.
One thing that Jay Pandolfo could try to adjust here.
Right to the.
That's an opportunity to allow just one goal per game for the second time. Celebrini, the backhand. The defenseman on the ice keeps things going. Celebrini off the one. Celebrini orchestrates the next BU attack through traffic for Lane Hudson. One-on-one with Carey. To open ice, Celebrini dangles, but Carey.
Jack Harvey, Macklin Celebrini, and Shane LaChance on the ice. No pull up. LaChance! Shot! Score! In the slot, on the move. Here comes BU. Little give and go. Oh, they score!
Shoulders Brazil off it. Celebrini right to the middle. They score! Celebrini denied.
And Case McCarthy. There's a chance for Harvey. He shoots, he scores!
Superstar Jack Harvey.
And Hudson faked the one-timer. Get to the Celebrini, no faking that. Used way, but Merrimack hanging tough early. Celebrini shimmies, shoots, and it's knocked out. Jack Parker's name on the rink here at Agganis Arena. Look at the stick work from Celebrini, lifted it high.
Face-off warning there on Malone. If that happens again, it's a minor. So 4-on-2 for the Terriers. McCarthy to the middle. Celebrini fired it. Banked it to Celebrini. Turns away from Malone. At the circle. Shot was blocked by Hershuk. Boards. Hudson sets up Celebrini one. It's Macklin Celebrini again. And he just missed the target.